Hey people, I'm ZSH Plays. Welcome to Jurassic Park 3. Today we're going to be building a recreation of Jurassic Park 3 in Jurassic World Evolution 2. So this is the first movie recreation that I've done after we've built the novel versions of Jurassic Park and The Lost World. So we have a whole new park to build here. We're on the Isla Sorna map. We got 5 new dinosaurs and a whole load of old favourites returning with new skins, etc. So let's get to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is build the ruins of the research centre where the characters hide away for some of the film. So we're building this in the same corner of the park as we did for the Lost World build, but it's going to look a lot different. So in Jurassic Park 3, it sits in a sort of valley here. There's a shot of Grant looking down on it from some forest way above it. So I'm putting a valley in here where we can actually build the research centre, and like we did with the Lost World, we're going to be using a mixture of all different eras to get the industrial look of the research centre from the film. So a lot of the DFW buildings and then a few Jurassic Park and Jurassic World buildings as well. Let's get a really full research centre, and then we'll move on and take care of the rest of the island. There's going to be numerous main areas for the different dinosaurs, and like I say, we got some new dinosaurs for this video which I'm very excited about. So as well as our old friends the Velociraptor, Parasaurolophus, Stegosaurus, Triceratops, Tyrannosaurus and Compsognathus, we got a load of new dinosaurs to go in. So because this is a film rather than the book, the apatosaurs that we've used before are going to be replaced by Brachiosaurus. The Ceratosaurus is going to be replaced by a Pteranodon, and we got some completely new dinosaurs, the Corythosaurus, the Ceratosaurus, and of course the Spinosaurus. And incidentally, if you haven't seen my Jurassic Park or Lost World recreations, check them out. I will put links to them at the end of this video. They are the novel versions, like I say, rather than the film versions, so they're a bit different to most of the recreations that you've probably seen. And like we did with the Lost World build, once this research facility is finished, we're going to let it get pretty much completely destroyed by storms. The only buildings that really need to be functioning are the hatcheries, so we can get the dinosaurs in. So it is going to be completely ruined. So we're going to fill this in with a load of jungle, so it looks as overgrown as we can get it. We don't use mods on this channel, so we're going to get this as close to the film as possible without using any mods. One of my favourite buildings in this game, the DFW toilet. It's really good for small industrial looking buildings, as long as you don't look at the signs. And that's the research centre pretty much done. So we're going to move on and put in a big aviary for the Pteranodons. In the film, this is absolutely enormous, and it's actually based on the Jurassic Park novel. So there is a huge aviary in the Jurassic Park novel with Ceratosaurus in it. Grant and the kids go in there and get attacked by the Ceratosaurus, and it's so big that there's actually a safari lodge inside it. So it's big enough to support an entire hotel as well as these enormous flying reptiles. And they basically take that scene, swap the Ceratosaurus for Pteranodon, and add a lot more the animals picking people up and flying around with them. But the main feature in the film is these giant sort of spires of rock where the Pteranodons make their nests, with little baby Pteranodons nipping away at the main characters in the nests. So I'm going to put that in. First I'm going to put a road in. Obviously we need a road to join up to the hatcheries in order to make it actually work. And of course there were roads running around the island anyway, so that's not an issue. So I'll put that in and join that up back with the research centre that we just built. And we'll come back and finish the interior of the aviary in a bit, but first I'm going to put in the river that runs the length of the island. A load of the shots in the film are taken from this river, some of the classic scenes like the Spinosaurus attack, etc. So obviously we need to get that in, make sure that looks good. And as always when working with water in this game, I'm going to lower the terrain where I want the water to go, and then fill the water in afterwards. Just seems to look better that way, so it doesn't give you these giant raised banks. The water sort of sits below the terrain rather than above the terrain where it should be, so that's always worth doing. And while I finish that off, I should probably talk about Jurassic Park 3. I actually really like it. I know it's the least successful of the Jurassic Park films, doesn't have a particularly good reputation. I think it's a really entertaining sort of popcorn film, hardly up to the standard of the original, but it is a lot of fun. Some really good set pieces in it, mainly the ones that they took from the Jurassic Park book. I actually prefer it to Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, although to be fair, I've seen local news bulletins that were more interesting than Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, so that's not too hard. Sorry if you're a big fan of that film. I wasn't. I'm looking forward to the new one though. There just seems to be some pretty cool stuff in the trailer. I'm really looking forward to going to see that at the cinema when it comes out. And that's the river pretty much done. Let's take care of the inside of the aviary now. So like I said, I'm going to recreate the big pillars of stone. You can't do that exactly in this game. The terrain tools aren't that powerful, so all you can really make is a sort of mound and then use rocks to fill in the rest. But it looks pretty cool when it's done. I'm pretty happy with it. We'll get a load of water in for them as well, but we're just going to put all the nesting spots in a sort of circle here and then use the rocks to simulate how it looked in the film. Now, while I finish those off, let's talk a bit about Jurassic World. So I've been asked so many times in the comments to recreate Jurassic World on this channel. I'm going to have to disappoint you, I'm afraid. That has been done so many times. I've seen so many videos of people making amazing recreations of Jurassic World, and I just don't really want to do something that's been done that many times before. One of the reasons I picked the novel of Jurassic Park 2 remake for my first Jurassic World Evolution 2 video was because I hadn't seen it done that many times. I've seen a lot of creators spend ages making the movie version of Jurassic Park, and a few of them sort of doing the novel version as a bit of an afterthought. And I absolutely love the Jurassic World novel, and I really wanted to try and recreate that as closely as possible, which is why I did it. And then the Lost World novel, I'm not even sure I've seen somebody do that, so again, that made sense. And Jurassic Park 3, not seen that done. Well, I'm sure somebody somewhere has done it. So again, they all made sense to do. But with Jurassic World, it's just been done too many times. If you want to see a really cool video of somebody recreating that, there are many videos on YouTube already of that to do. So I don't think I'm going to do one of those on my channel. So apologies if you are one of the people that asked for that, but I do have some other ideas that I'm going to be doing pretty soon instead. That is the aviary pretty much done. Let's get some Pteranodons in. So next up, I'm going to make the clearing by the river in the jungle where the Ceratosaurus appears, next to what in this video is going to be a large brown lump of rock. It's a large brown lump of something else in the film. And then we're going to put the remains of the Spinosaurus paddock in. This is where Grant and the other characters meet up with him again, and he smashes through the fence, which is something I'll definitely be filming for the cinematics at the end. So this will be destroyed partially in the final video, but this is just going to give us somewhere to put the Spinosaurus to begin with, and then we're going to let him loose and let him meet up with the T-Rex. It's just such a ridiculously cool dinosaur, the Spinosaurus. I remember the excitement when Jurassic Park 3 came out that they'd found a bigger dinosaur than the T-Rex to serve as the antagonist in that film. So I just had to include some shots of him being delivered into his paddock, although he's not going to be in there for long. He'll be smashing out of that pretty soon. We'll move on to the final stage of the build, which is the two big fields where most of the dinosaurs live. So you see these in the plane flyover when the characters are going to land on Isla Sorna again. So there's going to be two of these fields, and what I'm going to do is fill them with the food for each type of dinosaur to keep them there so they don't go wandering off without having to use any fences or anything like that. So we've got this field which is for the Corythosaurus and the Parasaurolophus, so we're going to put some nuts and things like that in there for them to eat. And then over in the other field we're going to have the Brachiosaurus, the Stegosaurus and Triceratops. So good to finally get Brachiosaurus into one of my parks, having been stuck with Apatosaurus because I've been doing novel builds. I much prefer the Brachiosaurus, probably just because it reminds me of Jurassic Park, but also it's bigger and it's just got that classic shape with the ridiculously long neck. I just think it's a more impressive dinosaur than the Apatosaurus, so good to get that in there. And that is Jurassic Park 3 done. Thank you so much for watching as always. Stick around for all the cinematics, I really hope you enjoy them. And I will see you again soon for some more Jurassic World Evolution 2. Thanks for watching.